All right, let's crack the code on a type of assignment that I know can seem really intimidating at first. But stick with me, because by the end of this, we're going to turn all that confusion into a clear plan for a fantastic essay.
Have you ever been handed a prompt that looks something like this? You know, just a wall of text packed with terms like post-colonial theory and scholarly integration. If you've ever felt that little knot of panic in your stomach, you are absolutely in the right place.
Okay, let's dive in. And I promise, this whole task is so much more manageable than it looks. We're just going to dismantle it piece by piece, together.
So here's our roadmap. First, we'll unpack the assignment itself, then we'll get familiar with the post-colonial lens, go hunting for a source, talk about building your argument, and wrap it all up with a final checklist. Super straightforward.
First up, let's figure out what this assignment is really asking you to do once you cut through all the academic jargon. What's your core mission?
See, at its heart, your mission is pretty simple. It's all about connecting these four key pieces: a specific word count, a specific theory, a specific story, and a specific type of evidence from an academic source. That's it. That's the whole game.
And here is probably the most important thing to remember. You are not just retelling the story. You're not writing a book report. You are building an argument about the story, and you're using post-colonial theory as your main tool to do it.
Okay, so let's get comfortable with that main tool, post-colonial theory. Don't let the name intimidate you. Honestly, it's just a new pair of analytical glasses for looking at the story in a different way.
So imagine you're putting on these special glasses. Suddenly, you can see things you might have missed before. This lens helps us focus on how things like power, cultural clashes, and especially language shape the characters' entire lives.
So a really key concept you can use from this theory is something called linguistic imperialism. This isn't just about people speaking different languages. It's about the power dynamic where one language, English in this story, becomes the normal one that pushes other languages and cultures to the sidelines.
And you can apply this idea directly to the story. Just ask yourself this guiding question from the prompt. Think about all those painful moments where the mother's inability to speak English creates conflict or deep shame for her son Jack. That's your evidence right there.
Okay, here's another really powerful concept you can look for: hybridity. Now, this isn't just about being from two different cultures. It's about the totally new, unique identity that gets created from that blend. You could say Jack himself is a hybrid character, right?
And here's the perfect way to link that theory directly to the story's most important symbol, the paper animals themselves. I mean, think about it. They're made from American wrapping paper, but they're brought to life by ancient Chinese magic. What does that tell us about a hybrid identity? It's a goldmine for analysis.
All right, next up, let's find that academic source you need. Don't think of this as a chore. Think of it as finding your backup, your expert witness who's going to help strengthen your argument.
And hey, the assignment basically gives you a simple 3-step recipe to find exactly what you need. Just follow these directions, use those keywords from the prompt, and don't forget to filter for articles published in the last 10 years. Easy.
Now this right here, this is a total game changer. This tip makes your search so much easier. You're not looking for a needle in a haystack, an article about this specific short story. Nope, you just need a good article that gives you a deeper definition of hybridity or a linguistic imperialism that you can then apply to the story yourself.
Okay, now for the most important part. This is where we take all of our ingredients, the story, the theory, the source, and turn them into a really compelling analysis.
And this slide is absolutely critical. The first statement, that's just summary. It tells us what happens. The second one, that's analysis. It tells us why it matters by using the language of the theory. You always want to be answering the so what question.
Your thesis statement is the engine for your entire response. It can't just be a fact that everyone agrees on. It has to be an arguable claim that you then spend your essay proving. This example here is great because it makes a specific, debatable point about what the animals symbolize. It's an argument.
All right, we are in the home stretch. Before you even think about hitting that submit button, let's run through a quick final checklist to make sure you've nailed every single requirement.
Here it is. This is your screenshotable guide to success. Seriously, use this like a pilot's pre-flight checklist. Go down the list, tick every single box, and you can submit your paper with total confidence.
So when it's all said and done, this skill goes way beyond just this one assignment. You now have this powerful analytical tool you can use to better understand movies, TV shows, and really the world around you. Now that you know how to use this lens, what else are you going to see?